This big. Good afternoon and welcome to the Jettisoned Lifepodcast. This is season 2, episode 4, I think. And on today's show, we are going to be talking about EA still managing to make money despite having an atrocious year. The Superbowl adverts for the Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, and little snippet we got of Loki. Sam Raimi possibly going to direct an MCU film. Ooh. Mad Max 5 could be starting filming very, very soon. And my beloved Stranger Things 4 is going to be split into 2 parts for its final season. That being said, let's just get on with it and introduce my hosts. As usual, I've got Christine, Jason, and Zam. And I'm, of course, this week, I am Jabba the Slut. There's no Dick Shadow because there's very good lighting in the room. So, that being said, did I miss any subjects out?
Well, I don't know. Are we gonna talk Birds of Prey?
Huh?
Are we gonna talk Birds of Prey?
Oh yes, and we're gonna talk Birds of Prey.
Oh yeah. So, where do you want to start?
EA. Always start with the gaming first because it gets my blood boiling. I want to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So, right. Look, that title is misleading, but don't worry about it. Now, EA had a bad year last year, apparently, yet with the whole hubbub of Anthem being an absolute disaster, yet this company still managed to make $1 billion in a quarter alone through FIFA and John Madden. And possibly Battlefield, but in one quarter they made 2.4 billion in a year on live services alone. So this is why, like, this shit is just not going to go away. It's not going away. We the filthy casuals are absolutely ruining gaming for the rest of us, because despite stocks falling and disastrous game launches, these cunts are still making money because there is such a vast amount of idiots out there that are just happy to piss away their money with no improvement in the games. Angry Joe went ballistic on John Madden, being an absolute shit show and just a copy and paste of last year, but the game still made money, a lot of money. And in comparison to that, I mean, despite all that, with EA insisting that, single player games are dead, Star Wars Jedi The Fallen Order sold 10 million copies, which is a huge, huge amount of game. So it just shows you the dynamic that there's there. There's filthy casuals willing to piss away their money, but there's also hardcore gamers who are trying to prove a point that you can still make your money just through single player story driven games. But I'm absolutely livid with this. I'm livid. Because no matter what we try to do to improve the industry, nobody gives a fuck. The protests are just falling on deaf ears. So I just want to get people's opinions on this. Zam, I'm going to start with you.
Well, you know me. I'm pretty much on the same boat as you, James, when it comes to all this shit. I despise microtransactions, and I understand why EA are doing this, because they're making shitloads of money from it. And as you can see from what they made just in the quarter, billions in a quarter. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, most corporations would be happy to make billions in just a year, and these guys are doing it in a quarter. So the profits they're making is staggering. I want, as much as I want to blame the casuals, what these gaming industries has done is basically to turn young people into fucking gambling addicts. And you hear stories of resorting to stealing money from their families in various ways, copying their credit cards and God knows what. It's ridiculous what's happening, and unfortunately corporations taking the moral high ground. That doesn't happen in this day and age with sporting events happening in places like Saudi Arabia. There's no moral high ground anymore. If they can exploit us, they will, and we're being exploited. And unfortunately, yeah, as you said, this is not going anywhere. I've got nothing positive to say about any of this. Yeah, I'll just move on.
Yeah, Christine.
Well, if I could press a button that would insta kill all those fucking casual motherfuckers who buy microtransactions,
You just kind of snap.
I'd fucking press it.
Yeah.
And now you may ask, why those motherfuckers and not EA CEO? Well, because they're the problem, and we would reduce the overpopulation of the planet too. So yeah, fuck those casuals, fuck them.
Well, that's the thing as well. You get rid of the CEO, it's irrelevant because
Yeah, someone else
nobody
to
in
take
that
his place.
position in that industry is going to change. It's the people that need to change their attitudes towards us and not allow this kind of thing to happen. So yeah, you snap them out of existence, and you make it a better place. Jason?
Yeah.
The most important thing I have to bring to this conversation is I see your Thanos and I raise you a cap with Mjolnir.
Oh yeah? I have the gauntlet, you bitch. I'm gonna fist you out of existence and then snap my fingers. Yeah.
I mean, microtransactions, you guys know my philosophy on them. I think they're okay in moderation. But you guys are right. It's out of control. I'm not disagreeing with you on that at all. I just feel like, if it's a free game, you should never spend more than you would on a normal game in microtransactions. Now, like if you got, now when you have kids like stealing their parents' credit cards and stuff, fortunately, I don't have to deal with this because my kids don't do that.
My godson did that.
Well, I would kill my kids. Like y'all, I'd have to stop doing this podcast because I'd be in jail. So
why?
Because it's
still
still
his kid receiving money.
Yeah. But anyway, so I feel, as I said, in moderation, I feel like this is good, but I agree with all of you that this is out of.
Oh. Well, they got to him. They got to him.
Nice.
Look, I'm supposed to be getting high speed internet in my area in like 5 days, is what they said. So I'm gonna see about upgrading.
When you say high speed, how high speed do you mean?
What?
How much speed?
How much speed are
you?
Oh
god, it's dismal. It is dismal when I started looking into it. That's why I'm like, I need to upgrade my plan.
Yeah, what are you getting?
Like 0.6 on an upload.
No, when they come into your area and upgrade.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like 10 or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
What?
Lord,
are you kidding me? I have 100.
Oh, maybe it's 100. Maybe I was thinking. I don't remember.
It's a big difference, from 10 to 100.
Well, it's a 1-0.
Yeah, but that makes a lot of difference,
Well, I can only focus on one round thing at a time. So I mean, like, if there's 2 zeros, I can't focus on both of them. So.
Well, if you watch the Super Bowl halftime show, there was 2 round things to focus on.
There were 4.
4 round things to focus on. Yeah. All right, moving on then.
Lots of round things.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. So rumors are circulating, and I always, when these kind of things start circulating, I make sure I double, triple, quadruple check to make sure it's not just coming from one
source. They talked about it on Emergency Awesome, so it must be true.
Yeah, well, I don't watch it, but yeah, I guess so. But yeah, if it's in Variety, then I'll 100% believe it to be true, because they don't post garbage. So Sam Raimi is possibly being tapped to direct Doctor Strange 2, and
maybe we should have put a question mark on that,
because
for fuck's sake,
are we gonna get cheesy Spider-Man Doctor Strange, or are we gonna get a mixture of good Spider-Man and awesome Evil Dead Doctor Strange, given that it's supposed to be horror themed? He's an inconsistent director, personally. I find Sam Raimi, so I don't know if I'm on board with this, but I don't know. Just get what your guys' thoughts are, Jason.
Sorry. Okay. I didn't think you'd come to me first. I mean, I'm okay with this, but dude, my internet's just freaking ridiculous. All right, so I'm okay with this, but this whole thing with Doctor Strange is just getting a little bit much. Just like, the switching of directors and bringing in a new writer, like to rewrite it. And, I don't even really want Doctor Strange 2 to be necessarily horror themed. I would much rather them, if they want Doctor Strange to be this big thing that they wanted, that it sounds like they want it to be in Phase 4, because it's coming out in May. It's going to be a tentpole film. There's going to be a lot of crap happening. I really feel like if they wanted to double down on the horror stuff, Doctor Strange should not be the movie right now, only because of what they're trying to do with Doctor Strange. Now, if they came back for the third movie and it's more of like a more target focus movie and not like trying to expand the universe of MCU, then I would be like, okay, like let's do a horror movie. Let's make a good horror movie in the MCU. But it's like they're just kind of, I don't know. I think this is gonna be like an Iron Man 2 situation, which I didn't mind Iron Man 2, but I see people's problems with it.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna be just trying to do too many things in two different directions, trying to make too many things in the universe. I'm like, you either go all in as a Winter Soldier type thing where you're like making a significant change to the MCU while making a good movie, or you just do, you let the director do what he's going to do. And I feel like there's a lot of studio involvement in this one. And I feel like this is almost X-Men levels of studio involvement.
I think on their part, there's a regret that they announced it was going to be horror themed.
I really think that too.
Yeah, I think that.
What's the greatest horror about it?
That
they're supposed to finish it within a year.
Yeah.
And they're changing director and writer now.
Yeah.
So that's horror.
That is a horror within itself.
Because it's going to be rushed.
Yeah. If you're dealing with a multiverse, you shouldn't have gone with a horror theme. That was a fucking stupid idea in the first place.
Well,
if you want to make the third one horror themed, fine.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when you get to the third movie and you want to like reinvent the character like they did with Thor Ragnarok, make it more horror, because like they went a totally different direction with Thor, and apparently it worked for a lot of people. I know me and Ginge.
Yeah, we don't, but we
don't agree with that. We don't like their interpretation, but it definitely did a service to the character in the main secular mindset, because it made Thor a lot more of a talked about character than the one that was in Avengers and the Dark World and all that. Yeah. So I just really feel like that if they want to do horror, I'm fine with it, but they really don't need to do it in this movie. So I think that if they're going to make this a big universe expanding movie, they need to buckle down on that and then do the whole horror aspect when they can actually focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much more they could do, given that Wanda is going to be in it, and I think Loki's going to be in it as well. So
which I'm okay with.
The horror theme it sticks out like a claw. And if I was Marvel, I'll come out and say, given the other characters that are going to be involved in it, we've decided to take it in a more different creative direction as opposed to horror themed. And people are fickle. They're on board. They don't care. They'll just be like, oh, they'll moan. They'll see a trailer, then they'll forget everything.
Yeah, I was about to say, as soon as that first trailer comes out and it looks amazing, they'll forget all about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just go down that direction. Zam, any thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, the moment Sam Raimi came in as director or possible director, my first thought was that the whole fucking Raimi family was going to be in it. Campbell, you know how Raimi operates. He loves having all of that shit in his films. And I don't want to see any of that if that does happen. But if they do go down the horror route and they want to have that Marvel sort of comedy or sort of quirky humor in there, then maybe Sam Raimi could be the guy, because he's very good at mixing. If anyone could do horror comedy, it's Sam Raimi. He does it. He probably is one of the best at doing that. And that could work in the favor of this if that's the sort of route they want to go. The idea of PG-13 horror, though, doesn't float my boat at all. It's going to be scary, but it won't be gory. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, like we're going to see people possibly get killed without like dream, or somebody turns around the corner, the monster there, and then it fades to black for a millisecond because they're dead. You know, something we're going to get shit like that. You know, regarding horror and that sort of stuff doesn't float my boat. Give me some gore.
Yep. Christine?
I said my piece. Like I'm worried about it being rushed and mediocre because of the time limit that we have for it.
Yeah.
Due to these changes. And I think it was a mistake to make announcements about it or say that it's going to be horror. I think it was premature.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I agree. The sad thing is that Doctor Strange had so much more potential. Like it had so much potential after that first movie. That was one of my favorite movies of Phase 3. And
I loved it.
And like just the turmoil now that's coming. It just makes me think that this is going to be a, like a Thor situation where you have a really interesting first movie, and then the second movie is received not as well by the fans. And I mean, I'll probably love it. I'm an MCU mark. So anyway, so that's my piece.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a whore for the multiverse stuff. Like Sliders was such a great show back in the day. So I'll definitely be watching this.
I love that. Left on the cliffhanger. They ruined Sliders, by the way. Just to go on Sliders, they ruined it by fucking getting rid of characters and putting all these new dickheads. You wanted to see the original 4 get back home, and once that didn't happen, the show was shit anyway. So maybe it was a good thing after season 5 it got cancelled.
I totally agree. Totally agree with you there. Okay, moving on. So they have announced Mad Max 5 is going to begin filming. This kind of came out of nowhere because they were umming and ahhing because the last one didn't make that much money. It made a profit, but it was only a small profit. So there was a lot of umming and ahhing whether they're going to make a 5th one. But apparently they're going to go ahead with it. And I personally don't give a shit. But I just want to see what other people think. Christine, I'll start with you.
I don't give a shit either. Right. I think that this franchise should die.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of it. Jason?
I have not seen a single Mad Max movie ever, nor do I care.
You're not missing anything. Sam?
I love how we're talking about things that we've never watched.
Personally, I thought the what's his name, Tom Hardy Mad Max film wasn't all that, but I'm not. Everyone seemed to have loved it. I thought it was average. I thought it was average. Mad Max 2 is the best. Mad Max 2 is fucking fantastic, and it feels that every time they make a Mad Max film, they're gonna have to like do this glorified car chase as a finale. It's like but it's become like Fast and the Furious in the desert all the time. I don't know. I mean, it's not Mel Gibson either. I hate to say, this franchise needs to die. I hate saying stuff like that, but I have a soft spot for it. But yeah, it needs to go.
Yeah.
Wow, we got Sam to agree with me. I want to cry.
Fuck off.
Oh,
moving on.
So first of all, on hype. Stranger Things season 4 definitely announced. So we knew that was coming anyway. But it's going to be split into 2 seasons. 2 parts. Sorry, not 2 seasons. 2 parts. That means obviously more episodes for this final season. And I don't know why they just couldn't have just been Stranger Things 4 and 5, but I guess they're filming it all at once to get it out of the way. I'm sad it's coming to an end, but I'm also glad it's not going to overstay its welcome. It's like what British shows do. They do just enough for everyone to enjoy, and they bow out at the right time. And I'm glad Stranger Things is doing the same thing. I've loved all 3 seasons so far, and can't wait for this one. I just found it weird that they're going to split it into 2 seasons. So just want to basically, this was just an excuse to chat about Stranger Things. I'll gauge your guys' thoughts on it. Christine, I'll go to you.
Well, I've yet to see the 3rd season because I'm a terrible slacker. But generally speaking, I like it. It was pretty refreshing when it first came out. So yeah, bring it.
Yeah, our 3rd season's great. It follows so many I can't even talk about it because it'll just spoil it for you. Jason.
I've never seen Stranger Things. Don't care.
Okay, Zam.
You should.
Yeah,
No,
likewise.
No, it's good.
You never seen Stranger Things, Zam?
I have yet. Sorry, it's supposed to be on my list, but I've never got around to it.
Oh, fair enough. Moving on then. Fuck it.
Can you check
Altered Carbon season 2. Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
forgot.
I'm gonna add the banner then because I haven't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
The trailer dropped for Altered Carbon season 2, and I am so glad that the main protagonist is going to be Anthony Mackie.
Oh
Not
yeah, I love this guy.
fucking plank of wood that they had, who was also in Suicide Squad as the army bloke.
Oh, you mean RoboCop?
Huh?
RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. Yeah, I'm so glad.
She's gonna be the same character, however, right?
Yeah, he's still the same.
Different
I forgot
sleeve.
the name of the characters. He's Japanese originally.
Yeah,
and it's
they've gone
Joe,
Doctor Who with it.
Now it's going to be Anthony Mackie, and this is a fantastic casting choice because Anthony Mackie is just awesome. I love him.
I love him.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I love him.
So moving forward, I'm hoping it's going to be even better than the first. Now, don't get me wrong. Even with that protagonist, Altered Carbon is one of the best science fiction shows I've ever seen. I absolutely loved it. It drifted off a bit towards the end and got a little bit convoluted and bloated. But what an excellent concept. The production values blew me away. It was just a fantastic show. So I can't wait for this one. I think there's only going to be this season and possibly a 3rd because that's how many books there are. And that'll be it. And again, that's enough. 3's enough. Bow out on a high and all this kind of shit. I don't know if anyone else has seen it. Zam, have you?
I have.
Yeah, good.
I thought it. I mean, I like the idea of cyber noir. It's two things that go well. I'm always a sucker for cyberpunk, just generally in television and films. I just this show was. I'm definitely going to watch season 2, but it's not as good as I wanted it to be. Thinking back at it now, I thought the way these rich, powerful people operated, you would have pretty much thought they owned the police as well, and they could run amok and do what the fuck they wanted. It felt they had that much power, but they didn't. And it felt almost a bit weird, that they didn't. You know what I mean? But other than that, I thought some of the characters were great. Michael Sheen is the fucking bartender. It wasn't Michael Sheen. Who was the guy who played the bartender? Not the bartender, the hotel owner.
Excellent.
The hotel robot guy.
You expect us to remember?
He was excellent.
He was the best thing in it.
Well, yeah,
the
but
best thing in it,
I
and
barely
that British
remember what I
actor-
ate yesterday. I mean, seriously.
That British actor as well, who was like the guy who was in charge of everything. He was pretty good. The thing with the blimp at the end, and they're fucking on that blimp and stuff. It was like, I thought it could have been. I mean, that's about as bad as I imagine it could be. With some sort of sexual macabre shit going on. I mean, I thought it was kind of going down that route, but it happened to be on a blimp. It wasn't that shocking at the end. Certain things, and I'm getting fed up of shows with lots of time skips. I'm fed up of that. I really am. I'm getting fed up of all that. Just keep it in one fucking time, please. That would be great. It shows with different time skips and different timelines, and
I see.
They're too complicated for that simple mind.
No, it's not. It's becoming an annoying trope. Actually, that doesn't need to be. I can't stand that trope.
Yeah.
Just fucking. If you're
Titan's
gonna
done
do
it.
that, start off like that, and then
I
build it up to
actually
current time. It's
like
just annoying.
flashbacks and things like that because they give more context on the story and the characters and things like that. So I'm
But they
okay
do
with
it
it
too much.
as long as it's
It's
done
becoming a
right.
trope.
Yeah, I mean, look,
It's becoming
personally,
a
I
trope.
don't
It's
backstory
filler.
and things like that.
It's filler, for as I'm concerned, a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's used too much.
They're like filler and bottle episodes. Like Titan's been doing it on a few occasions as well. Season 2, I thought to myself, this is just. I just want to see what's happening now. You wasted a whole fucking episode on the past. You leave me on a cliffhanger on this episode. The next episode got nothing to do with following the previous episode. So I got to watch this fucking filler shit, and then now I can finally figure out what happened with the following episode after that. I'm fed up of stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You lose me sometimes. You lose me. There's just too much of that shit. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christine, Altered Carbon, thoughts?
Loved it. And usually I'm not a big fan of science fiction and shit like that, but I fucking loved it. I loved the concept of it. I loved the execution of it, man. And it introduces so many like new concepts and ideas. I loved it. Like I would love to be able to tell someone, "Shut up, or I'll fucking shoot you in the stack" or something. I don't know. It just felt so good, so fresh. I loved it. I can't wait for the second season. I think it's gonna be awesome. I like Anthony Mackie. He's so good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Jason, I take it you haven't watched Altered Carbon.
Oh my god, what a loser!
You fucking soy boy beta cuck. All right, that brings us on to Birds of Prey.
Disclaimer, people. None of us have watched it.
None of us have watched it. Jason, you take this one.
Well, I just kind of wanted to talk because it's kind of funny how, like, earlier in the week there were news reports that nobody is buying tickets for Birds of Prey. And I mean, I checked at least at my local theaters, like there was like maybe 4 or 5 tickets sold at each showing. Like that's it. But it's like every source that I've watched, like, for non-spoiler reviews and stuff like that, like they've all said they really like it. And they all say that it reminds them a lot of like DC's Deadpool, and I feel like that's a good thing. That makes me want to go see the movie. I just haven't had a chance to yet. So it's just, I feel like it's funny because it's like DC just can't catch a break. Because watch what's going to happen is that this movie will actually, I'm just guessing, this movie will probably be good. And it'll be, but not as many people will go out and see it. So they won't make another movie like this, even though it was good and it's well received. So,
well, look, I mean, for me personally, I don't really have an interest in this film, but I like that they went R-rated with it. But if it doesn't make money, then that just, again, that could derail, like Suicide Squad 2 is supposed to be R-rated. That could change. So that's my biggest worry. Like, we didn't need this fucking film. I don't know why it's so fucking random. Anyway, I can't be asked to talk about it, Zam.
Yeah, actually, I'm really happy that the fact the critics are saying this film is great, because I've seen reviews of this film and it's all been positive. And I really like that. The reason why DC can't catch a break was because this film is maybe associated with Suicide Squad regarding Harley Quinn, and Suicide Squad was a pilot, so it's not catching a break. The marketing hasn't been that not catching a break. It looks fucking low budget. That's why not catching a break. And it's not that all these things are unfortunate, but I do feel that this film will make money. Word of mouth will help this film. A bit like John Wick, the first one. It wasn't the biggest film in the world, but once people started finding out the film's the bollocks, next thing you know, John Wick 2, 3 come out, and the film is really popular. Hopefully something similar like this will happen for Harley Quinn. It might not initially make money, but with word of mouth and all of that, hopefully it will do well. I'm going to watch it now. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can't wait to see it.
That's what I'm saying.
Film.
Like, I'm just
Fair
really
enough.
excited to see it based on what people have been like. Word of mouth has gotten to me, you know, like, and that's why I'm
Mhm.
like, well, maybe I should try to go see it this weekend.
Well, I'm not the
If
kind
it's
of
good, then yeah,
person
there's no
that
problem
jumps
with it.
on bandwagons and is swayed by public opinion. So personally, I don't give a fuck about it. The trailer that I saw annoyed me. So
Maybe because it gave so little away, which is good.
no, what annoyed me was Harley Quinn. This is what annoyed me. I think she sounded
fine.
really annoying and
She had a weird
wrong. I don't
accent.
know. Yes,
Yeah.
it was very weird. I don't understand it.
Hmm. Yeah, I
It,
mean,
it
I
was
have no interest.
wrong.
But listen, I say I have no interest, but I do hope this film makes money. I do. Just because,
Mm.
you know, but I won't be giving it my money. That's for sure. But what amazes me is like, ever since, like, what I noticed as well, I noticed this weird trend now is after the disasters of Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, there's been this odd shift in the hype machine surrounding all of DC's new properties. And if this was any other company, everyone would just be like, meh. But the social media hype machine, like, you can't help but think that the Warner Brothers kind of is paying a lot of fucking people because, like, there was all this hype for like Aquaman, Shazam, and those films are rubbish. I know you like them, Jason, but you're a simpleton, so that
I
doesn't
like
count.
Aquaman.
But those films are rubbish. But the hype that surrounds every kind of small DC project that is just advertised, it boggles my mind. But as a comic book fan, then you know, fuck it, I'm all for it. But you kind of want them to be good. But so far, I'm not only the only thing I enjoyed has been Wonder Woman, from DC. So,
I like Aquaman too.
huh?
I like
Look, per-
Aquaman as well as
What, Halle Berry's film?
what? Aquaman.
No, Aquaman.
Oh, I thought you said
She liked
Catwoman.
Aquaman.
No,
No,
she
man,
didn't.
are
She
you
didn't
kidding
say
me?
Ahmed. She said Aquaman.
Oh, just my ears.
It's
I'm
that
old.
accent. I mean,
Well, you liked it because
From
of
my-
Jason Momoa.
Hey, I
you
don't
know.
have an accent, okay?
You can tell because of Jason Momoa. You probably got wetter than the ocean watching that film.
No, from
Anyway,
my perspective,
I don't
when
want
it
to be a
came to some of
negative
the
Nancy or DC. I want to fucking
look,
do good because I like DC comics. I like Marvel comics. I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm a comic book fan.
Whore, you mean?
I'm a comic book whore and a happy one.
whore.
Whore. Zam, sorry.
personally, when critics when they're talking about these DC films, they've said that Batman versus Superman was shit. They were right. The Suicide Squad was shit. They were right. I haven't seen Shazam, so I don't give a fuck about the reviews on that one. But some of them said I personally, when I saw the trailers for Aquaman, I thought, oh my god, this is bollocks. But you know, the critics said the film was okay, and I agree with them. I thought I enjoyed it. So when the critics are saying, when everyone thinks that Suicide Squad, this Harlequin film is shit, Birds of Prey, but then but some critics are saying that it's actually good, regardless of the trailers making it look shit. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they've been right before about the previous films, and see how this one is.
Okay, fair enough.
That's just my perspective.
All right, that's it then. Moving on to the top 5.
Nope. Did we
Oh,
talk
no,
about
we
the
already-
trailers? The Disney Plus trailers? Did we talk about that?
Oh god, yeah. Jason, you take this one.
Why? What's wrong with the Disney Plus?
It didn't show enough.
It was 30 seconds.
It didn't show nothing.
Okay. I mean, we
The
got
only
our.
thing I will say, quickly, trust Disney to take Wanda's outfit and make it unsexy. Those fucking prudes. There was no cleavage. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, I just wanted your guys' thoughts on like the first looks on I mean, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be it looks amazing with what little we've seen. Plus, I've seen some of the behind the scenes photos and stuff like that, and I kind of like the direction they're going with bringing in U.S. Agent, who's like supposed to be a Cap, and I hope by the end of the series he's in like the black U.S. Agent uniform instead of like the blue one that they have him in currently. WandaVision looks weird, and I'm kind of glad I see a lot of Vision like in his actual like Vision outfit or whatever, like like with his Vision face or whatever. Because I was afraid they were going to do the whole series to save money. I was afraid that they were going to do like the whole series with him just like looking like Paul Bettany, and I'm like, that's okay for like a little bit, but it's like I want to see Vision. And then I mean Loki, huh?
I'm not fussed. Sorry, carry on. Sorry, go on.
Oh, and then Loki. I mean, who doesn't love Yoki? Yoki, yeah. Loki.
Yeah, Loki for the win.
He's thinking of eggs, I think.
Yeah. Gonna burn this place to the ground. It's like, oh, that's Loki. Yes, thank you, God, for bringing us Avengers Loki back. I mean, I don't know. I was never a fan of the face turn. So, of him towards the end. I just always thought that it was just a little bit too Disney. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, face what?
Face turn. They made him a good guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wrestling turns.
They love doing that. Popular bad guys become good guys.
Like,
hate that.
He was never like a really bad guy, though. Many people were rooting for him because he's cute.
Okay, he was a bad guy, and just because he was cute does not excuse the fact that he tried to invade Earth with an army from Thanos.
He was just misguided.
He killed lots of people.
No, this was the only person who guides Loki is Loki.
And he was guided by Thanos. You don't know.
Go ahead, Sam.
He dug that guy's eye out of the. Remember in Avengers, he got that guy's eye out of his head with that device. I mean, he was alive when it happened. I mean, he's a horrible person. Even when he reformed, he was still a horrible person. He couldn't help himself.
He's technically a god.
He's technically an alien.
He's a horrible. He's still a person. He's still a person. Whatever the fuck you want to describe this particular person, he's still a fucking person. And this person will always be a cunt. He can't help himself, no matter how much he's reformed.
Well, he's mischievous.
Yes, exactly.
He's
a god of mischief.
But everyone loves a villain, and that's why we don't want him to be redeemed.
No, he's a good guy.
I have a question for you, Ginge. Are you crocheting? What's that you're holding there? Is that a crochet needle?
This?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know what it's just like a weird tool that I use for like cleaning my keyboard keys, plucking it out.
So it looks like a crochet needle.
No, it's got like this little hook here.
Can you an infinity scarf?
Oh, I think it's for cocaine. I think it's a cocaine spoon.
Yeah.
I got one too.
Can you crochet me an infinity scarf with the infinity stones on it?
You pick your ear with it as well, Sam.
Yeah, man. Scrape my fucking thingy as well. Everything.
Pick my ear with it.
Oh my god!
A lot, man.
People are really not interested in hearing that. Sorry,
you brought it up.
These guys are disgusting.
You brought it up, you fucking hypocrite. This woman, man.
No, I thought it was a crochet needle.
Let me just change the subject and bring up something totally different, as you always fucking do, and then you fucking complain about it.
Croquet. Do I look like my yaya?
So does anybody else on Disney Plus? Apparently, I'm the only person who thought it was amazing. So,
I'm really looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. This is post Endgame shit here, and I really want to see some post Endgame shit, and that's why I'm really looking forward to this show. I can't wait to see where it goes, and hopefully it'll open up some for the films as well. It looks great. This I want to see. I want to see a continuation of the story.
Yeah, and they're hot
This
too.
is going to give us that. Whatever.
Look, trailers aside, like I didn't care for the trailers, whatever. But
It
yeah,
wasn't a trailer.
my hype for all three of those shows is huge. I can't wait.
I do think WandaVision is going to be this action spectacular. I think it's going to be very much like bottle episode. It's going to be a psychological piece of filming. It's not going to be like explosions and her fucking saving people from burning buildings.
WandaVision is going to deal probably more with her psyche and probably. I mean, if they were to do it right, they would go down a PTSD route. Because don't forget, this woman has suffered a lot. She's lost both her brother and her lover in these wars. And so, I'm hoping they go down the route where she imagines that she's got like twin boys as well that she had with Vision and all this kind of shit. And then her mind kind of falling apart is what leads to the multiverse and Doctor Strange coming in and trying to help her and all this. And then from that, we get like, I don't know, maybe the birth of mutants or something.
Well,
that's what I'm really interested in. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm just interested in because I just love the actors.
Oh, yeah.
They were saying that the WandaVision, the director said that like the first half is kind of that whole, what Zam was saying, that bottle episode thing. But they did say on the second half, things kind of get crazy and it's kind of this spectacular. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like explosions and everything spectacular, if it's going to be like a visual spectacular. They didn't really specify.
Yeah, like
I don't care about explosions.
I'm looking forward to it.
I really don't care about
it looks totally freaky, and I think it's going to be great.
I don't think there'll be any heroic shit. Let's just say that.
And LJ Gaves says that on the chat that they don't expect anything good from WandaVision. So plus they say that Christine is exceptionally evil. So I'm guessing that's what you're saying, Christine.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry. You piece of shit.
Barry. Well, no, the name LJ Gaves. I don't know who this Barry is.
It's Larry.
Oh, Larry. Well, whatever.
He's an Irish piece of shit.
So here's my only fear. Here's my only fear with Loki, though, since we're kind of wrapping up on this topic. I wonder if it's going to be kind of like a Legends of Tomorrow type scenario, where except not an ensemble, but like where Loki's running through time and he's just like, trying to avoid the time cops. And I mean, I think it'd be fun.
That reminds me of Rick and Morty.
Huh?
Yeah.
The testicles from Rick and Morty are gonna go and arrest him, or pick him up, rather.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, wait and see. I mean, Loki's not due out for ages yet. That clip you saw, they've literally just started filming Loki.
But I think they're gonna. I think that they're going to kind of try to get it released sooner, because Disney Plus got hit really hard when all of a sudden Mandalorian ended and they didn't have anything ready to go.
They lost. They lost an estimation of between 5 and 8 million subscribers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Love it.
But I mean, I don't.
That also means they better not fuck up Obi-Wan as well.
Well, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like they should have had all this stuff lined up and squared away so that I mean, I know you guys don't really care for it, but I praise the DC Universe app because they've had consistent content coming out since its launch. Like there has never been a week that has gone by that there is nothing on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is it good?
The only thing that I've ever been disappointed with is Swamp Thing. Like, and I mean, that's just because it's not my thing. I've heard other people who like that kind of dark and gritty and horror like stuff that they say it was actually pretty good. So
Doom Patrol, Young Justice, and Harley Quinn. I mean, Harley Quinn is the best fucking thing I've ever seen for me personally.
I haven't seen the most recent episode. I have to watch it.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's just it's just them being brilliant as always.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I like to showcase DC Universe as much as possible. I want people to know, hey, DC Universe has good crap on it now. Like,
and they're not scared to cater to an adult audience. Unlike
no,
DC,
not at
a
all.
bunch of fucking cowards. That's what I can't stand. Yeah, I'm with you, LJ Gav. Yeah, it's about a 6 out of 10. Mandalorian. Like, I didn't blow
I'd
me
give
away.
it as 8.
I'd say I'd
I'll give it 8. It was the best
too,
Star Wars. It was the best Star Wars since the fucking original trilogy. So I'll give it an 8.
Wow, that's a bold statement. Fair enough.
No,
all right, should we move to
Star Wars.
should move on to the top 5?
Gab is actually interacting with us on the thing. I didn't say that I thought Swamp Thing was crap. I just said it wasn't my thing. He said on bad Swamp Thing is actually really good. And as I said, a lot of the people that I know that like that dark and gritty, like jump scare horror type stuff, they liked it. And I'm not saying it's crap. I'm just saying it wasn't my thing. So, you know, don't misread me. I know things that I'm not into can still be good.
All right.
Oh, don't worry, Larry. He's wrong about many things.
Top 5. Top 5. Come on. Come on.
Wait, I need to put the fucking graphic on. God
you know what?
damn
What are
it.
we waiting for? You're supposed to have this stuff ready to go.
I'm fucking sleepy. Fuck off.
You're always
Where
sleeping.
the fuck is it? Shit.
Lord Jeebus, help us.
There it
Man,
is.
5 or the 6 is for Baby
Found
Yoda.
it.
Yeah, top 5.
Wait, I have to
Okay,
do
before I
that.
go on to my top 5, LJ, I loved seeing Baby Yoda have the shit beaten out of him. I want people to make Baby Yoda punching bags and just punch the fuck out of it. I love seeing that. It made my fucking day. Okay, on to my top 5.
You just lost half of our
over it.
subscribers, you
Yes.
bastard.
Yes, I don't give a fuck. Good. Fucking dickheads. Anyway, my top 5 today are top 5 Western movies. I want to quickly give some honorable mentions to some of the films which won't be on my list, and they are Outlaw Josie Wells, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kids, Django Unchained, and Tombstone. These will not make my top 5. But first of all, this is a crazy top 5. Some of these films you will not even imagine being in the top 5 list, like this one at number 5. At number 5, I've put in Back to the Future Part 3. I fucking like this film a lot, yeah. I like you know, when you're making a trilogy of movies, you've got to somehow keep the essence of what it is, but try to be different enough so it's not, oh, we're doing this again. I mean, you couldn't get more unique than them going back to the fucking Wild West for the on the third time around. Absolutely brilliant. Buford Tannen, fan-fucking-tastic character. Thomas Wilson knocked out the park as Buford Tannen. We didn't get enough of him on screen. Didn't give a damn about the love interest, but he did. You know, some cool things happened at the end. We have a fucking flying train that can go through time at the end. You know, fantastic ending. Great trilogy of movies. Improved even more with the Telltale Back to the Future game, which in my opinion is the unofficial Back to the Future Part 4. If you ever play Telltale game, play that. It really does make you feel like you're playing Back to the Future Part 4. But Back to the Future Part 3, great fucking film. I do love it. What do you guys have to say about Back to the Future Part 3? I'll give Mr. Thumbs Up first, Ginge.
Oh, yes. I loved it. Now, usually I'd prefer the stuff where you go into the future. So, like, you'd think Back to the Future 2 would be, like, my favorite. But no, it was Part 3 was my favorite Back to the Future film. I absolutely fucking loved it. The setting was great. Again, yeah, Buford Tannen that actor was the star of the whole trilogy more than anyone, followed by
Thomas Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, followed by the other two. Well, fantastic. Don't get me wrong, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, but Biff was just, you know, the diversity in his acting was just out of this world. And I loved it. I loved the you know, him bringing his ideas from the westerns that he watched back in the day, bringing them forward, like with the bulletproof, using the cast iron as a bulletproof thing. The train, the suspense at the end with the train and all that. Yeah, fantastic film. Absolutely loved it.
What the hell was that whistle?
That was my penis.
That was you.
That was my phone.
Okay, Christine, what do you have to say about? Christine, Back to the
Haven't
Future
watched
3.
it. Not
seen it?
interested. Not interested
Okay,
in this series
Roberto.
at all. And I don't like westerns.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of the Back to the Future franchise, but I will agree that.
Oh, yes, I
3 is
remember.
Probably what?
I remember you mentioning this actually.
Yeah, like Back to the Future. Back to the Future is not my favorite franchise, but if I had to pick a favorite one out of the 3, I believe it's 3. That's the Western one. So I just thought that one was fun. Like they kind of were just like, we're going all in on this. Let's just do it. Let's just, and I haven't watched it in so many years that I couldn't even cite anything. Doesn't the train fly or something like that?
Yeah, right at the end.
Yeah, it does at the end. Well, the second train, he builds another train, because the first train gets destroyed. And they robbed that train as well.
Well, they robbed it. Yeah,
but you got ZZ Top as well doing the fucking music, the soundtrack. It's a good film. I thoroughly enjoy it. It was a great way to cap off the trilogy. Okay, on to number 4 in the top 5 westerns. It's The Magnificent Seven. This film for me is one of my childhood memories when it comes. You've got Yul Brynner as the Man in Black. You've got Steve McQueen. You've got Robert Vaughn and a variety of other actors whose name escapes me, but they're all reasonably famous. And they're all these just regular dudes. Sorry, not regular, all gunslingers and outlaws, but they're there to help this village from some evil, evil people. And a lot of these guys die trying to save that. Charles Bronson as well. They all die, most of them trying to save this village. This is the original Magnificent Seven, the Yul Brynner version, not the Denzel Washington version. What do you guys think of Magnificent Seven?
Love it.
I'll start with you first.
Yeah, it's a Western.
It's
a Hollywood remake of the Samurai 7, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Seven Samurais.
Seven Samurai. Thank you, Christine.
Yeah.
Fantastic film. Just a good old classic Western. Love the fact that some of the main characters do die just trying to save this little old village. I don't remember it as well.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember absolutely loving it when I did see it as a kid. I've got it on DVD somewhere. I had it. I think I've downloaded it. The remake that they did recently with Chris and Denzel Washington was anus. Absolute garbage. Such a bad film.
Yeah,
you'll be really surprised, but I actually have not seen it. So either version. So
nobody's surprised.
I'll be
right?
No, honestly, I'd be surprised if you saw it. Obviously, but anyway, Christine.
Don't like westerns.
All right, moving on.
Yes. Okay. Okay. The next one is a very dark western. It's about a man who was once a murderer and just did terrible things, but he became reformed to become that man again, and that was Clint Eastwood in Unforgiven. This was him teaming up with people like Morgan Freeman, as well as Gene Hackman's just so good at playing villains of various types. Whether it be fucking Lex Luthor or this character here, he's just an excellent bad guy, and he was very good in this film. And it's weird in a way when you see Clint Eastwood in this movie, you can't even imagine him once being this crazy fucking murderous bastard that he once everyone claims him to be, and even he mentioned that he was before he met the love of his life and changed his way, so to speak. It's a bit like a cowboy John Wick, so to speak. Still a good film, very dark film, not many nice moments. People die, major characters die. But the good guy, so to speak, or the anti-hero does win at the end. What do you think of this movie? I won't ask you, Chris, because you've not seen it. Roberto. Unforgiven. Have you seen it?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Sorry, I was talking to Megan. Which one is this?
Unforgiven.
No, I haven't seen it. There's no surprise there.
Okay. No surprise, Ginge.
I I mean, fucking great film. Clint Eastwood directed it as well, so you
Yeah.
expect it to be quite morbid. His films tend to be, which I like. I like morbid films. Yeah, I loved it. You know, I had even like Richard Burton in there, and yeah, Gene Hackman's great
Richard
as the
Burton, yeah.
villain. Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so the next one now, a lot of people, some people would say this one should be number one, but I put it in number two. Number one is a special one, but number two is for some people the greatest Western ever made. That is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This film is fucking brilliant. The premises is so simple as well. It's just about fucking treasure. It's treasure hunting, and these guys are going all over Civil War America trying to. Yeah, thank you very much, LJ. I'm glad you're delighted. It's a very good film. But yeah, The Good, Bad, the Ugly is about these three men, all very different to each other, but also very similar, going after some hidden gold. They all have certain information about this. You know, even though the good is played by Clint Eastwood, he's not really that good, but he's nowhere near as bad as the bads and the ugly. The ugly himself has got Eli Wallach. His character is just fantastic. He steals it as Pedro. Is it Pedro he plays? Is that his character? You know, you don't even know what Clint Eastwood's real name. Tuco, my bad. You never know like the real names of the good. Like you just know them as Angel Eyes and fucking Blondie. I mean, that's who they are. I mean, and Angel Eyes. Yeah, great film. Great Mexican show standoff at the end with the freeway shootout with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Fucking love this film. I can't recommend it high enough. One of the best films, let alone Western. One of the best films ever made. What do you think? I'm not going to ask you two because I know you haven't seen it. Ginger, what do you think of fucking The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Yeah. I absolutely love it. I will say that the music blew me away more than anything.
Yeah.
I think it was Ennio something.
Ennio
Morricone, thank you. Yeah. Fantastic film.
Sergio Leone movie. Yeah,
Sergio Leone, of course, with his spaghetti westerns. Just what else to say? Just great. I love the camera work as well in it, like the close-ups, the the classic kind of people kind of looking around at each other like that kind of shit. The premise is nice and simple, and there was a Korean remake of this about 9 or 10 years ago, and it's fucking excellent. It's excellent. I recommend it. It's over the top and silly as well, but it was a really good remake. So yeah.
Okie dokie. All right, so on to number one. Now I'm hoping. Now, number one, by the way, is not your average Western. Far from it. I mean, the film doesn't even remain a Western at certain points of the film. I mean, small moments of the film. It's not even a fucking Western anymore. It's like, what the fuck is this? This film is fucking hilarious, and this film was spoofing before fucking Aeroplane came on the scene. This film is blazing fucking saddles, and that movie, you can die right now. Just die, yeah, because you don't deserve to live if you've not seen this fucking movie. This film is one of the greatest comedies ever made, yeah, one of the greatest westerns ever made, and arguably Mel Brooks' best ever fucking film. This film is just on another level of everything. I mean, this film was genius. This, like, if they made this film now, it wouldn't be as genius as it was in the fucking 70s when they made this film. This film is just everything about it. The mocking of no offense, American culture when it comes to racism and stuff like that. It's just brilliant. Mel Brooks just fucking nailed it, man. He is, he's just so, taking the piss out of the Klan and stuff like that. A film has never made me laugh as much as this film. I'm fucking when I watch this film, I'm crying. I'm fucking crying. You know what I mean? With laughter. And the way they treat that poor black sheriff who takes all their shit and still at the end of the day saves these fuckers and they appreciate him after he fucking saves him, but then they stop being less racist. There is some good messages in this film as well. Excellent movie. Chris and Roberta, if you haven't seen it, let us know. But I'm not going to bother asking you because you two are a disgrace.
You're
still a disgrace.
I have actually watched this.
They've both seen it.
Okay, Christine, and Christine,
But it was
Christine,
like 20 years
tell
ago. I
me
don't
what do you
remember.
think. Tell me what you think of this movie in any
But
aspect
I
of what
will
you
have
remember.
to rewatch it because it's been over 20 years.
Fair enough. Cowboy and Aliens, fuck off. Roberto, have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen Blazing Saddles. I liked it. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but I mean, I liked it. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's one of, I mean, I would probably say I enjoy Spaceballs more than Blazing Saddles, but that's only because of my background in Star Trek and Star Wars. So, but I mean, you know, I know it's definitely one of the best comedies ever made. It is definitely one of Mel Brooks's best comedies. I mean, you know, what can you say about it? Everybody's great in it. I mean, it is
Gene Wilder, man.
Yeah, like it's kind of like the pinnacle of
the late Gene Wilder. Some great actors, yes. And some of the humor, by the way, before I go into Eugene, some of the humor was really stupid, like the toll booth, but it just worked. You know what I mean? It just worked. And the making a fake town and shit, they went all Magnificent Seven and all that, and saying, oh, so stupid, some of the stuff they did. And next thing you know, they're in the real world, and the guy goes to buy a fucking ticket. I mean, like, what the fuck? Is like, the film went on acid. You know, he's buying a ticket for a film they're in. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck am I watching here? What do you think? What do you think of Blazing Saddles, Ginger?
Oh, one of my all-time favorite comedies. Fucking just brilliant film. And like for all the things that happen in it, my two favorite parts of the film are when the sheriff walks on the stage. He goes, "Let me just whip this out," and it was like, "Oh!"
That's Christine's favorite part too.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Let me just whip this out.
Oh god.
And there's
the way they say it
down. And it's like, what do you like? It's like rape, murder, arson, and rape. You said rape twice. I like rape. All right, you're in.
It's amazing. Yeah, go on.
The comedy in this film when Mongo punches the horse. When Mongo punched the horse, I lost my shit. I cried so hard with laughter. Like, just even the silly beans bit where they're all just farting away, and there's just so much to fucking love about this film. It's just crazy. And then I love what it does at the end, where they just end up doing a massive fight and they end up in a fucking musical as well with Dom DeLuise there and all of that, and just goes batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I too prefer Spaceballs again because of the sci-fi stuff, but you know they're literally like an inch apart in terms of favoritism. So yeah,
Spaceballs does not push the envelope like this movie did.
No, I mean, it
if anything,
it pushes the envelope in a sci-fi sense. In that sense, you know, the silliness in that way, but. You know, I just love both of them. I mean, I'm a huge fan anyway. Like huge. I have all his films.
He really used the amount of times they liberally used the N word in that film. You know, it was unbelievable.
Good morning, man. Isn't it a wonderful day today? Up yours, N word. And then back to the
yeah. You know, and you laughing at it. You're laughing. You can't help but laugh. Because you're laughing not at him, you're laughing at the fucking stupidness of the person saying that. Like, you know, like you're a fucking idiot and you can't but laugh. And you know, it's just so good to see. Like, you never saw anything like this, where this person who said this thing, not only did he overcome all the prejudice, he won everyone round and beat the fucking clan and shit.
Yeah, it was massively controversial when it came out at the time.
No doubt, man. Even if it came out now, it probably would be.
Yeah,
no doubt, man. You know, that film.
And I like the little throwback in Robin Hood Men in Tights, where Dave Chappelle's given the role of sheriff, and the crowd's like, "A black sheriff?" And he's like, "Oh, why not? It worked in Blazing Saddles." Like, you know, just silly little like.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. Oh, I love that.
Was that a Mel Brooks movie, by the way? Men in Tights.
Yeah. Mel Brooks.
Loved that movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was all. But that film was awful.
See,
That
now
film
we
was
need
awful,
to
man.
Many
damn
Fights is awful.
Mel Brooks movies.
No.
The only
You
Mel
didn't
Brooks
like
films
Men
I
in
liked was the Batman, Dracula Dead and Loving It. I thought that was garbage.
Which one
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that one?
The one with Leslie Nielsen in it, who
Oh.
plays Dracula.
I don't
I haven't
hate
seen
it.
that.
I don't hate it.
Oh, fair enough, but I didn't like it at
That's
all.
because you love
And I
vampires.
like
and
Men in
crap.
Tights too, like a lot. I love this movie.
She
Fair
just likes things that suck. I mean,
Yeah, but
No,
for me,
I like
regarding what
vampires, man. I like vampires.
exactly, you like things that suck.
if
So, I mean,
but just to close with my top
And I
five,
didn't say I
even though it was
like
about
it. I said I
westerns,
didn't hate it.
I'm just saying regarding my top five, even though it was about westerns, if Blazing Saddles is not top 5 greatest comedies of all time, I'll be very disappointed. You know, for me, it could be easily number 1 for a lot of people's top 5. It's that good. There's nothing.
Number 1 is always Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Never
be beat.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I'll agree with you. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go
But
with
Blazing
that.
Saddles,
For sure.
right up there, top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
All right,
That's
then,
up our
that's it.
show. We are done. Thank you all for joining us. LJ, Gav, thank you for taking part in the comment sections. It's always appreciated when our viewers interact, even if it's abuse, we'll take it. And join us again next week when we'll be discussing why that third nipple on Zam has 2 eyes and a chin on it. Bye.
Mhm.
Bye.